President Biden faces mounting pressure from members of his own party to take a tougher stance on Israel after violence between the Israeli government and Palestinian military group Hamas claimed hundreds of lives and deepened the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. 17 Democratic senators wrote to Secretary of State Antony Blinken, urging him to address the humanitarian emergency in Gaza. The group is led by Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland. Progressive House Democrats, including Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, have been longtime critics of the Israeli government and added their voices to the chorus of criticisms.
We must, with no hesitation, demand that our country recognize the unconditional support of Israel has enabled the erasure of Palestinian life and the denial of the rights of millions of refugees.
And more than 500 former Biden campaign and Democratic Party staffers signed an open letter calling on the president to hold Israel accountable for its actions in the Gaza Strip.
This felt like a moment where, we could no longer remain silent.
Matan Arad Neiman and his colleague Hiba Mohammed helped organize the effort. Both worked on the Biden campaign in 2020.
For all of the co-authors of this letter, this is a deeply personal issue. I am Palestinian. Matan is a Jewish Israeli. And, for our families who are there, and also just this general sense of justice, we knew this is something that we needed to do.
The efforts come as a ceasefire reached last month between Israel and Hamas has so far managed to hold. They highlight a deepening split in the Democratic Party over Israel, even as the U.S.-Israel relationship may appear stronger than ever. Throughout the conflict in Gaza, the Biden administration issued statements supporting Israel's right to self-defense, opposed a UN Security Council resolution calling for a ceasefire, and approved the sale of U.S. arms worth $735 million to Israel.
Biden really did seem to want to continue a policy that was certainly robust in its defense of Israel's right to self-defense. But we did hear and we did see a lot of critics on the Democratic side saying, we cannot just give them carte blanche.
Brett Bruen served as White House Director of Global Engagement under President Barack Obama from 2013 to 2015. He says with a new government expected to take shape in Israel, the Biden White House will be able to adopt a more neutral stance toward its longtime ally.
You saw the Biden administration almost hold up as a point of pride that they hadn't given in to the pressure from their own party. Temporarily, that may be the case, but longer term, it's going to start to wear on them. And they are going to find that this issue resurfaces, and they're going to need to make compromises. They're not going to be able to take such a stridently pro-Israel position. They're going to have to accommodate some of those voices because they're going to need those votes.
Publicly, the White House maintains there's been no shift in the U.S.'s position toward Israel.
We have a long and abiding strategic relationship with Israel, and that will continue to be the case no matter who is leading the country.
Shira Tarlow, Newsy, Washington.